Yeah. Coach Tom back to give you some rules of success. Now, you're going to hear these rules again and again because sometimes we need to be reminded more than we need to be taught. So you'll see them and hear them here first, but you're going to keep hearing them and seeing them again and again, and hopefully they'll start playing in your head. All right, rule number one, sugar is the enemy. Out of all the foods, sugar is the one we must avoid and all its sneaky relatives. So eating or drinking sugar is essentially going to undo any metabolic hormones so any hormone repair we've already done, when we eat sugar, it undoes it. So sugar is a direct link to insulin. So it's not the calories from sugar, it's what it does to your insulin. It's going to be challenging at first to get your insulin levels down. So we don't want to ever sabotage it by eating some sugar and getting it back up real quick. We don't want to spike insulin ever. So stay away from sugar. That's rule number one. Again, it's not because of the calories. It's because what it does to your insulin. No sugar. Stay away from sugar. Anything fructose, anything that has calories and is sweet, do not put in your body. What about artificial sweeteners like stevia? Absolutely fine. Have as much stevia as you want. As long as it doesn't have calories, we're going to be fine with it right now. But stay away from anything with sugar, especially things like spaghetti sauces, sneaky sugars. So really check labels and make sure you're not putting any sugar in. It will slow down your progress. All right. Number two, I just got to say it again. It simply is not an option to have sugar if you really intend to fix your metabolic hormones. Because when we are lowering insulin, we have to keep sugar out of your system. And if I haven't made myself clear, don't eat sugar. All right. Rule number two, when you eat matters as much, if not more, than what you eat. Besides sugar, nothing else is going to really mess you up that bad, but we must have periods of time where we don't eat at all. So that's a new way of thinking. When matters as much as what. So two things. Respect and honor your fasted windows. And don't eat sugar when you're not fasting. Okay? So if you have an 8-hour fast, don't eat at all during those 8 hours. That means 0 calories. Now, rule number three. If you're not hungry, don't eat. I repeat, if you're not hungry, don't eat. Say you have an 8-hour fasted window and it's over, but you're not hungry. Don't eat. Here's why. You have two hormones, ghrelin and leptin. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. And if you have your hormones needing repair, odds are ghrelin's a little out of whack. So by waiting until you're hungry to eat, it's going to help ghrelin readjust. Plus, the longer you go in a fasted state, the better, especially early on. So I repeat, if you're not hungry, don't eat. And when you're full, stop eating. Now, I don't mean full of stuff. I couldn't eat another bite. That is not healthy for us. Overeating actually undoes a lot of our good work. So when you are satisfied, I call it when you feel good, F-U-E-L, feel good, that's when you stop eating. This is actually teaching your leptin and ghrelin hormones when you're hungry and when you're not. It gets your leptin and your ghrelin, kind of brings them back to life. Overeating is never helpful. And sometimes we just keep eating because it feels good. Actually, when we eat, especially carbs, the same neurotransmitter, dopamine, that's released when people do drugs, gets released into our brain when we eat. No wonder we want to just keep eating and eating and eating, even if we don't need more food. And because we like to eat good. And when that dopamine's in our brain chemistry, we feel good. And we all like to feel good. So we have to be able to determine what real hunger is and what psychological hunger is. But when you feel fine, satisfied, stop eating. However, don't stop eating if you're still hungry. That means when you start eating and you feel like you need to eat more in order to be satisfied, eat a little bit more. Let's really get your body working normal again. All right, things to do every day. Morning ritual. You'll see that in one of the next sections. It takes 6 minutes. Make it a daily habit that you do every day. Next thing, go out and get yourself any sort of journal. Oh, I wish I could grab one. Any ring journal. It could be blank, just a notebook. It's going to be your food, fasting, and feeling log. Food, fasting, and feeling log. I'm going to have you screenshot pages of that. You're going to write down what you eat there. You're going to write down when your fasting period starts and when it ends. When you end, it's called breaking the fast, break fast. And when you start the fast, you're going to keep a log. And you're also going to keep a log of your feelings. That means how you feel physically and how you feel kind of in your head too emotionally. So again, what you're eating, just write it down. You don't have to write down every detail, but write down what it is, when you break your fast, when you start your fast, and the feelings. So it's your food, fasting, and feeling log. And I will ask you to screenshot it for me sometimes and show me what's going on. So especially when you're breaking and starting your fast. Now, how you're feeling physically and emotionally and mentally matters as well. And if things are stressing you out, write it down, because that will help know how your hormones and moods are changing as you go. When you doubt yourself or don't think you can make it, or oh, I'm so hungry, I can't do it, write that down. Later, we'll learn from it, and it will help us make sure we can course correct if we're not on track. Okay, mindset. I talked to you about intentions, actions, words. The next two are awareness and authenticity. I'm going to talk to you about those in the next video. Awareness and authenticity. So, I gotta say one more thing. If you're in the United States, you have never starved. We have so much food. And just so you know, a man with 5% body fat can go 30 days without food and still be fine. That's how long fat will last. So if you do feel hungry during this, know that it's mostly psychological. Your body has to get used to using fat for energy. All right.